Hi there. So this is my review on oiling down underneath in there. I've already removed the foot and the needle, and I put a little bit of green painter's masking tape on the needle to protect the point and to keep track of it. I can see where that is. Also have the little screwdriver, which I'm going to use to undo the plate. For that, I'm going to open up the little plastic cover, take that off, and then remove the bobbin spool with the thread on that. I've already removed the needle and the thread, so now we're ready to go. And I'm going to take the screwdriver and loosen the throat plate screws. Just get them started and just loosen those screws a little bit. Get them started, and then I can just undo them, twirl them loose with your fingertip. And I set them aside in a magnetic tray so that I know where they are when I go to get them. Then I remove the throat plate, just like that. So now everything's fairly open, and the point of interest, the main point, is that I'm going to oil down there. Now I want to tell you, I did just clean this a couple of days ago, so all the fluff is gone and it has been oiled. Starting here, the next step is to remove this, and it is locked in there by this arm and by a feature here, but normally to remove it I just loosen these two screws. I leave them in there and I leave that there, but I just loosen enough so I can pull this up and get it out. So that's what I'm about to do now. And it doesn't take a lot of turns to loosen that, just kind of a full turn. And now, okay, I've got to go a little further because I can't quite pull that out. So I'll back that one off, and then I'll back that one off a couple of turns, and there it's come out. As you can see, it is clean because I dusted it out when I cleaned it the other day. So I'll set that aside, and now we're ready to go down here, and we want to get this wick. There's an oil wick in there. And before I go much further, I want to stress that this definitely is a situation of less is more. And when you do oil this wick, when you put oil in there, just put in maybe 2 drops at the most. Now this wick is clean because I freshly serviced this a few days ago, and I'm pulling out the wick there, and you can see it's a little bit oily. I don't know if you're able to see that glistening as I pulled it out. But the other thing about the wick is that it is clean, because the clean oil has been in there, and then I ran the machine. If the machine hadn't been cleaned, and I hadn't serviced it yet, there might be a bit of dark grime on the wick at the bottom, which shows that it was picking up bits of dust and dirt and stuff. So that's where the wick goes back in there like that. And then all we're going to do to oil it is take the oiling probe and just put it in there like that, and then just drop 1 or 2 drops of oil in there. There's no need to do 3 or 4. It's a very small wick, and surprisingly the machine will run for, depending on how much you use it, but for the amount of time that I use the machine, because I'm not sewing every day right now, and even if I was, it would probably be a few months. Every few months that I would have to do this, as opposed to every few weeks. So I do have these cotton swabs here, and you can still see there's still a bit of grime coming off there, so maybe I'll keep going with that. Indeed I will. Well, it is getting actually quite a bit, really. Well, I guess I didn't clean it as well as I thought I had. Okay, that's coming quite a bit better. So that, in essence, is how it is done. And then it's just a process of putting it together, just doing the reverse of what we just did. And I'll start with that, get that in there, and it does have to go in the correct position. There, I can feel that it's seated in there, and I can just hold it with my finger even and see that the hook is going seamlessly quiet, rotating around. Now I can adjust those, tighten those. There, so they're nice and tight. And as I rotate that, you can see that that is safe, stable, and everything should work. Actually, I'll replace the plate before I put the bobbin spool in there. And then I'll get the plate screws. Just start it with my tip of the finger. like that. And give those little screws a squeeze, a tighten. There, that's in there nice and firm, nice and snug. And as mentioned previously, this goes in anti-clockwise, counterclockwise. Put the thread down there on the slanted slot and bring it across like that. And then I can get the cover and close that. I'm just testing pulling the thread, and there's some slack there, so I should be able to continue along. Next I'm going to put the foot on and the needle on and get it threaded completely. There. And when we insert the needle into the needle bar, we make sure that the flat part of the needle is towards the rear. That's how it seats in there. So the needle is in, and I made sure that it went all the way to the top as far as it could go. And when I clamped it on there with the screw, I could feel that it tightened up on it. Now I'm going to get the thread in the needle and get started there. So I'll bring the thread down. Now, besides being old school, I'm a little bit old too, so I normally try to thread the needle without using the needle threader. And I won't even show how that is done because I really don't know how to do it. I have done it in the past, but it's been so long that it's just quicker and more convenient for me to do it the way I'm going to do. So when I do that part of it, to get the needle through the eye of the thread through the eye of the needle, I lower the foot in the presser bar, and I have a clean cut on this end of the thread because I just freshly cut it with the scissors. And there is a groove on the front of this needle, and you can almost do it by feel. Like there. I did that by feel because my eyes really aren't all that good. I'm into my beginning of my 7th decade, and I want to make sure that I don't twist the thread. So there. Now I'm going to raise the presser foot so I got some slack to pull the thread through. And now I'm going to take the needle thread, take it down to go and catch the bobbin thread and bring it up, and then we'll be ready to sew. So to do that job, hang on to the upper needle thread and then send it down. So now before I tighten it all down, I'm just going to send the needle down. Now the other thing I want to mention is that the needle that I use here, and these are basic Schmidt's needles or whatever the brand is, but there's the flat edge, and you'll notice that there's no coloration or a stripe or blue color on the flat edge side of the needle. And this is the back of the needle that I'm pointing at because well, you can't see it because my finger's in the way. But here is the flat edge, and there's no color or mark, and that is the back of the needle. It has to go towards the back of the machine. If I spin it around so we look at the front of the needle, we see there's a little blue mark there, a little blue line. So when you're putting it in, that's a guide that if you put it in and you can see the blue line, then you've got it facing the right way. So now I've got the needle back in place, and I just hand tighten the screw that tightens the needle into the needle bar. I do make sure that it's tight because, mostly what I sew is denim. And if you're going through many layers of denim, like 4 or 6 or 8 layers, it can sometimes pull the needle out if the needle has loosened in the needle bar. Now I'm going to try and see if I can get this in the first time again by lining it up on the groove, and I did. So, and there my thread is not twined around or wound around the needle, it's direct. The presser foot is up, so I have slack on the needle. I'm holding on to the upper needle thread. I'm going to send it down to catch the bobbin thread there, like this. And now my needle is going all the way down. It's caught the thread. It's bringing it up, and I'm going to use my thread ripper to pull the bobbin thread through, which I seem to have a lot of. And there we are, we're threaded, and we're good to go. Now the last thing I'm going to do after doing all that is I'm going to thread the needle, which I had done, but I pulled it out. Here we go, we'll try that again. I'll get it started and lock it in. Now finish it up by locking it up again. A little bit of a reverse stitch. Raise the needle. And we're in good shape all the way around. There we go. I'm ready to start sewing on my next project. So that's how I did that little project. Reminding myself how to go down there and oil the wick and clean up every few months. Hope this was helpful and enjoyable for you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. Please like this video also. If you'd like to leave a comment or say something, I'd love to hear from you. And once again, make sure you have fun and stay safe. We'll meet again shortly. The next video I'll be doing more jean zippers, putting zippers on the jean panels that I've cut to demonstrate that again. I've done 3 of them already. I'm going to do a 4th one in the next video. Thanks for stopping in. Ciao, amigos.